we do need to discuss just a few things. I've still been waiting on screenshots and video content and a recruitment video for the Darkfall branch. So what I think the issue here is that we haven't had an individual step up and own that. So what I need is people in that branch to say, I am going to produce that content so that it can be put up on the front page. Because if I don't have that content, I can't put the updates in. So, and that goes for every branch. That goes for the Guild Wars branch. That goes for the Rift branch. If you need to have a section put up, we need that content. We are moving to a better forum package, a more modern forum package, and we're going to be overhauling. Because frankly, I think a lot of, that forum package goes back to 2009 or 10 or something. It's been around for a long time now. The Guild's been around for a long, long period, and a lot of people are no longer interested. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
All right. Well, so once we're done here, we'll have. Are you positive?
I think that's going to.
Are you HIV positive?
Are you positive that's Undasta?
I was telling you, there's a whole raid of horror showed up. That's probably why.
Yeah, there's like 3 raids of horde here.
A raid showing up doesn't mean that the dragon is up.
All right. Do you know? Has anyone actually seen Undasta?
No, there's no positive. I just got one shot by 150k, which is an Undasta attack. I do not have a confirmation at this point.
That can be any double sword or terrorwing.
Right.
Don't waste our time unless you can give us a.
I don't see Undasta.
Right. Exactly. Please do not give. Yeah, please do not give false positive. Thank you. Anyway, don't worry about it. Guys, basically, as far as gaming news and everything else in the Guild is concerned, I think you've all been covering your Xbox drama. They're changing their DRM policies and all that. But most of you here don't really give a shit about consoles. I'm not going to waste too much time discussing it. We'll have it covered on the usual, Guild YouTube, and I know that Young is doing a lot of coverage. So for those of you who are interested in that stuff and do want to play some of the console stuff out there, that information will be posted. Like I said, until I see more about why I really want to play Destiny, or if Halo 5 is not going to suck balls, obviously that's something that will be pushing us into more coverage and resources onto that particular topic. But otherwise, like I said, we've already had the big bonanza of news from E3. It seems to be quite interesting. We're still trying to find out what that means for all of us. As far as MMOs, and tell me if I'm wrong, they did have some information on Elder Scrolls. They had some information on Archage, which looks interesting, but we'll put it into the category of potentially good if they deliver on the content they've talked about. Final Fantasy is also producing the Realm Reborn. I think a bunch of people are in the beta now. How many of you are in beta right now?
Good about 10.
I want to go about a handful of 10 to 15 people.
At the risk of having like a million people speak up, is it good? Tell us about the game.
It is good PvE. It feels a lot like your current generation Final Fantasy console games as an MMO. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, it's fast-paced, kind of like a mix of WoW and Rift, and Final Fantasy XI just kind of had a baby. It's pretty much what it's like.
So PvE heavy, no sieging, it's a raiding.
Heavy.
They've talked about it.
They've said PvP, but Coliseum only.
Mm-hmm. So arenas.
Yes, arena is what they've promised. They haven't really promised past that.
All right, so we'll continue to watch it. Not necessarily amazing. I told you last week, Rift is free to play, has some interesting stuff. No significant Siege content thus far. Wildstar, who's playing that? Tell me what you know. Anyone in Wildstar closed beta? Oh wait, you can't talk about it.
No one's
okay.
in Wildstar closed beta.
All right, so nobody who is here and willing to break NDA. All right, I was playing the Elder Scrolls beta, and I will break NDA by simply saying, it looks very promising. We haven't seen the PvP yet. There's no big news there. It's an Elder Scrolls game, and I like Elder Scrolls. They didn't fuck it up.
Besides the fact that it's like Skyrim Online. It's
right. I mean, it is kind of like Skyrim Online, and to be quite honest, that's a good thing. I didn't really want it to be like World of Warcraft with like Elder Scrolls skins. I wanted it just to be like, it's an Elder Scrolls game that I have multiple people playing with me. That's a good thing. That's it. That's all I wanted it to be. And that's
the PvP zone. That game will be pretty awesome.
yeah. That's basically what it comes down to. So, Wildstar, nobody can talk about it. Promising Elder Scrolls. Destiny might not suck. And some people are playing all the other free-to-play games that have popped out. And that is your basic news. For those who are playing existing games, like I said, I do need that content and updates for Darkfall and Nox. I do need you to get people produced because we're like a week behind in getting that stuff out. And so hopefully for this Friday, we can get a meeting together from your NCOs and officers and so on about what you would like to specifically state about the goals and purposes of the guild, and basically provide that content. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I don't really have anything else in terms of fresh news out there. That we are in this dry period between games being produced, and so we're basically trying to make that work. So at this juncture, it's very important that we understand that yes, there is unfortunately a big void being left by many games having their release dates pushed back. Elder Scrolls in that category. Titan is in the nebulous black hole that is Blizzard's production schedule of, basically from which games may or may not actually survive. I think it's a big question mark whether or not Titan will even ever be produced at this rate. And frankly, from what I can gather from BlizzCon, I would imagine what we're going to be told is, hey, we're going to be providing some sort of expansion to Diablo 3 that may or may not have the PvP that we told you we'd have at launch, and will once again be put into the no one cares, that game is a fiasco. My understanding is there are a bunch of other Blizzard security breaches and problems with the auction house, again, like for the 5th time. So basically, that game is not worth your time. Beyond that, I hesitate to even bring it up, but we are considering doing an EVE just introductory meeting night to do some missioning and everything else. We'll figure out which night works for everyone. But once again, most of you should never ever look at that game. It is basically the Great Satan, and it's simply too hard, and you're not smart enough, and the game doesn't like you. So
well, I'm glad my message got through finally.
So basically, if you take that warning and understand the game hates you, and it's run by a bunch of crooked Icelandic people who hate Americans. And then you could get beyond that and say that I like spaceships enough to play a game involving that type of cruel, full loot type of environment where you can lose everything and there's basically nothing stopping you from being scammed out of everything you own. Then EVE is a great, very complex, very difficult game for you to look at. And we will be opening up some corporate offices, and we'll try to make sure that everyone has an access to that. Like I said, we're going to continue to be working on expansion in Darkfall. City's going well. The Alliance is going well. Guild is continuing to expand. We've picked up a lot of great people there who enjoy vindictive, terrible, full loot games and have been thriving on that. As far as World of Warcraft is concerned, the message that I'll be putting up after we have this video posted is pretty simple. We're looking for a specific crazy type of recruit, and this is what I want officers and NCOs to know. We are deliberately, as an organization, choosing underdog factions on difficult servers because that's what we do. We're here, and the reason we're sticking with Kill Jaden is because it is horde dominated by 3 or 4 to 1, depending. And because we do have a lot of world PvP, and the understanding is that you will be a better player if you are up against more significant opposition and more challenging opponents. It will force you to be better. I know that a lot of the people we're fighting on Horde right now are pretty amateurish, but they've been able to rub 4 brain cells together to recognize that the 4 major PvP guilds that they have, if they all attack at once, can actually overwhelm us. Ruin, even though we're outnumbered by any 1 or 2 of those guilds, can usually beat any 1 or 2 of those guilds. We can usually beat any 3 of those guilds, but when they start bringing in 4 or 5 or 6 of their guilds attack our city, then it gets into interesting stalemate status. It's interesting, and it is happening. Unfortunately, Blizzard's phasing architecture has really screwed up the game, and it makes it very difficult to fight under those circumstances because, frankly, It's like I'm not going to use the word time dilation simply because it's not what's going on. What is in fact going on is the server is desperately trying ways to not crash, and so they phase people in and out depending on where the server load is. So as a result, it's sort of like Guild Wars 2 when we were playing it, where you can stack everyone up at one little point, and they're only phasing with each other, and it's physically impossible to kill people that only exist in their own alternate reality that no one can see unless they happen to walk into that one little point, and that's what's been going on. So obviously Blizzard is aware of this. We've tried to provide some more information and petitions regarding it, but they haven't done much to change it. Anyway, that's like I said, I didn't want to have this go over for too much longer. Are there any other officers or commanders that need to bring up anything relevant to the larger community at large regarding events and games or things that people should know about?
Yeah, we just took a lot of territory in Darkfall, so play Darkfall.
Those of us who are playing Rift aren't working on doing a Rift portal because we're all going to Final Fantasy as soon as we can.
So basically, Final Fantasy greater than Rift. Is that the official? All right, good. We don't like having branches in games just because we want to branch in that game. We want to branch in the game because it's sustainable and fun and it's good and it's worth your time. And I guess the answer...
11 and 14 will be sustainable. People still play Final Fantasy 11. It's older than WoW.
Right.
Also, some of us in Rift are here to burn the heretics that chose the wrong faction.
I'm sorry, are you a god lover?
I heard it's compared
All right, well, that's pretty much it. I didn't really want to have anyone waste more time than this. If there are any more major beta events that are coming out that you should be aware of, I'll be the first to let all of you know. I don't think anything else on the horizon has really been all that significant. So we're looking at, like, what? A year or so before anything significant really is out.
When the next beta event for Elder Scrolls comes out, I'll get pinged on the forums.
The open beta for the PvE Fest Final Fantasy will be next month sometime. I heard Lav's orgasm over that.
Sounds good. All right, in any event, that's pretty much all I wanted to bring up. If you guys would like to get back to your channels and do your guild events, you are free to do that. If you are in the World of Warcraft branch, please hang out in this channel, and we'll get you some free loot. Right now, for World of Warcraft, we still have more additional recruitment to do. We have about 130 people online right now for a meeting, which is good, not great. We should do better. I like to see that number up to fighting strength, which is 150 plus online, and we'll start going back to do some more PvP. But right now, we're deliberately trying to put ourselves in a position where Horde are more or less on the offensive, train you how to fight well in that capacity. Once again, 5.4, which is coming out in a month or two. Servers are being merged, and my understanding is that's the first for World of Warcraft. We're going to be doing some of the final content, killing Garrosh, and my hope is at that point we'll have an understanding of when the end period for Pandas is. And I mean, with Garrosh, he's the final boss. They're going to have to get an expansion out and soon.
He's the final boss in quotes. If you've actually been following the lore, he's probably not.
Yeah, there's probably another last patch.
There's going to be a last patch.
They've released the raid, so
they did mention
right.
From the start of the.
Who is hot miking? Please remove them from the guild.
Not from the team.
Yeah.
From the guild. Get the fuck out.
I'm serious.
Hang them.
No, this
Alright, guys,
patch is the raid on Garrosh, yes, but
if you're in Darkfall, we gotta do a
nowhere
debrief,
near.
so hop onto that other team speak, please.
They're
Right.
nowhere near.
Darkfall is dismissed. Everyone else, if you're in World of Warcraft, let's just head over to do some Nalik and whatever else.
They're nowhere near done with this expansion. I mean, they haven't even announced the other one. They've got at least one more major content patch before.
But are we going to be looking at another World of Warcraft situation where it's like, hey, Deathwing. Yeah, we're still doing it.
From that, I think
a year ago.
What were people like? I remember with Tally, we were watching Tally's stream. And it was like 10 months later, and like still fucking killing the dragon.
Tally loves PvE though. Lots of people quit the game after that. They realized that it's a bad decision. They said they weren't going to make the same mistake twice. So.
Hey, Ark.
Yeah, what's up, guys? We're gonna head off for Nalik real quick, and then we'll probably have other plans, I'm sure.